Captain America Brave New World. Is it the absolute worst movie you're gonna see this year? No, come on. Let's not exaggerate, okay? Star Trek Section 31 already happened. Is it good? It's not the worst movie that you're gonna see this year. Listen, I'm gonna give you spoilers about the movie, but honestly, Marvel already gave away the biggest and most interesting one. They don't want you to know that you can enjoy recent Marvel movies with this one weird trick.
Lower your expectations.
That's not much of an endorsement, but I am being very serious when I tell you this is not total nonsense with super obvious cut content like the Marvels. Heck of a pull quote there. At least it's not the Marvels. What I can say in its favor is that it mostly made sense. Like I was never wondering, how did we get to this place? Why are we here? Why are we doing any of this? However, it made sense in the way that like a day in the life vlog makes sense. Everyone just said out loud what they were doing and why. I start my day by checking my emails and knocking out my to-do list. I'm working on this report because my boss asked me to work on this report. It's been a really stressful day, so I got lunch at a local gem not a lot of people know about. Lunch was delicious, but unfortunately, the rumors were that some of the reshoots were to add action because the first cuts of the film were way too slow, and I can see it. Most of this movie is so boring, it's trying to sink Brett Cooper's career. It wants to be a suspenseful political thriller, but the dialogue sucks, the plot is derivative, and everyone verbalizes their motivation and relevant plot points. This movie's like accidentally going to a poetry cafe that was disguised as a sports bar. You thought you were going to get entertainment, but really it's just prose that's so bland even Mitt Romney would balk, but it's spoken in a dramatic way.
This poem is about Spokane. Spokane. Man.
To give you an idea of how forgettable it was, I romantically took my wife to see it on Thursday, and after we left, I was trying to recap for this. Did Sam get a motivation? What was good? What was bad? What jokes can I tell? All she wanted to talk about was the Thunderbolts trailer. Like, hun, I have a job that I need to do. I need to outline my thoughts. No. Red Guardian is very funny. I'm looking forward to it too. So for this video, Walker is awesome. I agree. Part of the reason for this is because the movie has been so sterilized. Sam, Joaquin, that's the new Falcon and Sam's military buddy, for those of you that didn't do your Disney Plus assigned reading. And Isaiah Bradley, that's a previously undisclosed super soldier who was kept in prison by the racist states of America, for those of you who didn't do. All get invited to the White House, and Isaiah tries to kill the president because mind control. Now, this could be dramatic. Isaiah hates the government and white people, but he's hardly in the film after that. Likely to sanitize what everyone hated about Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yet I'm still here. No super serum, no blonde hair or blue eyes.
This gal is Ruth, who either just can't act or was directed to be a robot. Originally, she was Sabra, who's an Israeli comic superhero and Mossad agent, but she was turned into just a former Black Widow because of some stuff that's happening in places. I don't know what the plans are for everybody, but if they weren't gonna use Sabra, then why not just use Scarlet Scarab here from Moon Knight? It keeps with the Wings theme, at least. For those of you wondering why no one ever talks about this gigantic celestial sticking out of the planet, well, wonder no more. The world's powers are fighting over it because it contains adamantium. Bro, please, did you hear? We said adamantium. Bro, the X-Men are coming. Wolverine, we'll do Calvary if you want. I promise, bro. Just stick with us. Come on, bro. Trust me. Except those world powers are the United States, France, India, and Japan. Like, just trying to give you a worldwide feel without naming any of the controversial countries. So yeah, political thriller with next to no politics. So President Ross, that's this guy, remember him? He's trying to get a treaty so everyone can share the adamantium, and also wants Sam to reform the Avengers until 7 minutes later when he doesn't. But the treaty is being undermined. Is it to disrupt world peace so a secret organization could take over? No, it's Samuel Stearns from 2008's Hulk, who Ross has imprisoned and used for his super brain to help become president and fix his heart condition. He's trying to expose Ross to the world. That's pretty much it. That's the evil plot.
Whoa, dream big!
This movie's plot is a Rube Goldberg machine that does what a WikiLeaks dump would do. And the villain does that! during the movie, but not until the end when the rest of the machine falls apart and we've had adequate runtime. So the plot is boring and consists of mostly exposition in green screen rooms for some reason, but they did film more action. So how did that go? Is a bit of a mixed bag there. The standout action sequence is at the very end with the Red Hulk fight. That was an impressive set piece and overall really cool. You got helicopters firing at him. He's throwing a helicopter at another helicopter. He's tearing up the White House. He's Hulk jumping after Sam. That scene also finally had the Falcon wing daggers that he didn't have when he was the Falcon. The green screen effects were, again, terrible while they were standing still talking, but I really liked that fight. A close second was the fight near the Celestial. So Cap and New Falcon are flying around, we're making use of their powers, trying to bring down fighter jets, but without hurting anyone because they want to defuse the situation. We could pick a few things apart about it, but I enjoyed that one as well. Sam, surfs a missile into the ocean so it doesn't hit a boat, then he does the same thing with a jet. Now, I follow the rule of cool, so the play stands. Everything else sucked, however, and I realized why. Those two fights had scale, and you could tell what was going on. Every other fight was in a small room, usually with strobing lights for some reason, and a cut approximately every half a second with extreme close-ups on everyone. Choreography was lazy, they were slow, and the dialogue includes lines that everyone on set clearly wanted to be epic, but were not. It was kind of like this. Nowhere to run. Now, why don't we just fight in my actual kitchen? Do you think you can handle the heat? Well, I'm rubber and you're glue. Tell the president the nano-algorithmic hard drive is secure because I'm a professional. That's why you should hit the like button. Movie magic, am I right? You know, with this movie having adamantium as a big part of the plot, I figured it was time to get this guy out. We do have a bit of a power scaling issue, however. Sam's abilities vary wildly from scene to scene. Now look, it's a superhero movie, all right? I can and have allowed things to slide because of the aforementioned rule of cool. The problem with New Cap is that him not being a super soldier is a major plot point and supposed motivation for him. So since they keep reminding me of it, now I see the goofy stuff. Like in the first fight, he throws the shield at a guy who does a full 360 backflip from the force of the impact. That sequence also ends with him fighting generic strong henchman number 2381, who slices the front of his outfit, and he also broke a rib there. So the suit is not vibranium, okay? Or it's possible that the base layer is, for the stat boost, but the outer layer is maybe changeable cloth because the drip is important, and I respect that. PSA to all game devs, separate the stats from the fit. The wings are obviously vibranium, but nobody ever says anything about the suit. And then he does break an arm in the final fight. So I think the whole vibranium suit is how he withstands Hulk punches idea. That's pure headcanon, guys. Regular Sam also takes a knife to the chest and then an axe to the gut and just walks it off. Now, I watched Dick Halloran die this way, so I'm not buying that. Also, the knife to the chest thing wouldn't be quite so bad if he didn't then stab Giancarlo Esposito in the same spot, immediately ending the fight and causing him to breathe like he's about to start uttering prophecy from the unmade. Gus can't take a punch, Han's got heart trouble, Isaiah can't work a smartphone. I thought I was watching MCU Wild Hogs for a second. Earlier, I said the movie mostly makes sense, but unfortunately there is one plot hole that is so gigantic I noticed it happening and then talked myself out of it because it obviously had to be a misdirect. The villain in the movie is the leader, Samuel Stearns, and he is a super genius. I know this because everyone says he's a super genius. Also because his dialogue contains percentages and he talks about seeing all the probabilities. So obviously, giant brainiac. He has been planning this exposure of Ross for years, slowly increasing the amount of gamma radiation in his heart pills. Don't ask questions. So he cunningly moves the pieces into play, setting up a theft of adamantium first, knowing that Captain America would show up and stop the sale of it, and then knowing that the president would invite him to the White House, and then knowing that Sam would invite Isaiah Bradley to go with him so he could mind control Isaiah. Now, I already know some of you smooth brains think that this is rather improbable. Sam and Joaquin had the exact same thought while they were helping each other hang a lampshade, but Stearns is a villain with a heart of gold, so it works. See, he knew that there would be an 87% chance that 43% of the audience would be paying about 15% attention to the movie at this point. That is not the plot hole, by the way. So Sam fights Esposito, and Stearns has eyes everywhere, I guess, because he calls a phone in Esposito's pocket to taunt Sam. Sam has Joaquin run a trace on the number, and the super genius Stearns didn't have like a VPN or something, a burner to hide his location.
How did you get past security? His fortress is impenetrable.
Door was unlocked.
Son of a bitch!
Speaking of VPNs, I do not have a sponsor for this video, but I am starting memberships today. Regular level for badges and polls, share owner level for a private monthly stream where you get to speak into a video that we make together. I hope you'll join.
They go to the secret base where he's hidden, discover that he's killed everyone in the basement, and find his evil plans laying out in the open. The computers are even unlocked, and Stearns has a video of himself on the desktop for some reason. Fortunately, Sam did not click on the folder that was marked homework. As Joaquin copies files to a thumb drive and Sam grabs a manila folder with Ross's name right on it, plus a bottle of pills, Stearns speaks up from the shadows and threatens them that they're messing up his game, but they are about to be taken off the board. Do you see what I'm talking about? He uses chess lingo? That's how you know he's a genius. Now at this point, instead of just shooting the both of them like he shot multiple other people in the movie, suddenly henchmen enter the room with taser sticks. And my wife was giggling, and I thought it was just because the action was like so awful. But no, she was thinking about how Cap and Falcon must have finished that fight after peeing themselves.
Obviously, because everybody who gets shot pees themselves.
No, they don't. That's not true.
Actually, he's right. Every single time.
So they fight their way out, half-second smash cuts at a time, and then go to stop the showdown between Japan and America. So at this point, I was stunned at the stupidity of this plot. I was in my seat, actively writing down joke references about Stearns letting them get the info and then thinking that his taser goons would kill them, like I was going to use...
No. I'm going to leave them alone and not actually witness them dying. I'm just going to assume it all went to plan. What?
But then I got a hold of myself, right? It suddenly occurred to me that this is an obvious setup. They're allowed to escape with the data. It's obviously going to have a virus in it or something. There's some other reason that Stearns allowed them to come right to him and then leave. He is a super genius. So they're obviously about to fall right into his ultimate trap.
No, they didn't.
No, they didn't.
They describe this character as so brilliant, he's using probabilities to basically make prophecies. That whole chain of events that I described caught Mr. Probabilities off guard and ruined his plan. You can't tell me that a villain is a super genius and then have the heroes not even outsmart him. Just the plan doesn't come together the way he thought it would because of multiple unforced errors. Okay, but something I was really on the lookout for was my main point of criticism from the previous video. Does Sam finally get some kind of theme or motivation? Sorry if you were holding out for this one, but no. It's a bit ironic because Sam's character has always been a sidekick whose sole reason for existing is to help and support Captain America. And they've really gone out of their way to let you know that Isaiah Bradley should have been Captain. He's a lost Captain America. And Sam is staying in his lane. His motivation for the whole movie is proving that Isaiah is innocent. That's why he even starts investigating. He doesn't care about the president or the politics, he just cares about Isaiah. And then everything else in the movie is Stearns leading him around. He doesn't even stop Stearns. The guy turns himself in so he can get close to the president and make him turn into Red Hulk. Wait a minute, didn't he mind control those fighter jet pilots from across the world? Sam still has no inner motivation whatsoever. The movie tried to give him one twice, both times by having another character tell him/us why he's so great. Bucky does in fact show up for 3 minutes, and Sam is having doubts about not taking the super serum, which puts him about 4 years behind every single person who saw the show. He's still fighting against the manufactured tension of living in Steve's shadow. Bucky gives him a motivational speech that ends with him saying, "Steve chose you because you're you."
That doesn't mean anything. Those are just words.
And of course, because it's Marvel, the almost emotional moment is instantly undercut with a joke. Close one. Somebody nearly felt something. This line makes zero sense, but honestly, the scene only exists to show that Bucky is running for Congress as a setup to a movie the audience actually gives a crap about. At the end of the movie, Sam and Joaquin are having a heart-to-heart, and Joaquin says he always wanted to meet a superhero and looked up to the Falcon the most when he was growing up. Sus! That's he's hatting. Like, maybe they want to make Sam an everyman hero, because he does reply that being a hero comes with a lot of pressure because he's representing everyone who can't have a seat at the table. I mean, didn't care about them when he gave it the title the first time, but whatever. So perhaps they're gonna make Sam the most relatable hero for the common man, because he's not a super soldier, right? Sorry, Clint, not you. So if you go into the military and you get accepted into a special experimental program, and then you happen to run into an established hero who you get friendly with, and then that person needs help, and then you guys form a bond, and then they recruit you and finally hand you their title, then you can be a hero, just like salt of the earth, bootstrap Sam. They really don't know what to do with this character. And none of this was shown in the movie, by the way. This chat with Joaquin is the last scene, and then the credits roll on a very low, vague note. The movie that we got is a series of events that roughly connect to each other, punctuated by a couple of nice action scenes and then an ending that just fizzles out. The only thing it has to teach you is that adamantium exists now, and Sam is going to reform the Avengers with Joaquin Torres as new Falcon, and Bucky's a congressman in the running. Other than that, you could skip this one and miss nothing. The showings that I saw on Thursday, and again on Friday for Paddington, were fairly busy this weekend, so did you go see it? What did you think? With only a handful of movies to go until Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars, how do you see these phases actually coming to a close? Let me know. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time, bub.